Good afternoon everyone, it's the 18th of February 2013 at approximately 12 noon. Okay, we have a severe weather event unfolding down the Queensland coast at the moment. Alright, we have quite a large upper level trough / low over Western Queensland, which is deepening a surface trough down the coast, and this surface trough is forecast to produce a surface low in the vicinity of Mackay to Rockhampton. I'd say more around Rockhampton this afternoon, and track this surface low down to the south over Fraser Island, affecting the entire coastline down to the Coolangatta border. You can see the extensive cloud that is occurring with the combination of the upper trough in the west and the deep surface trough down the coast. There has been also some severe thunderstorms occur over Western Queensland districts, some very heavy rainfall as well around the Longreach region. Some of these rainfall and thunderstorm areas may continue to occur over the next few days while this upper trough remains in the area. Okay, let's move on to the current radar and have a look at it. Okay, you can see currently that most of the heavy rainfall is falling from Rockhampton south through Gladstone, just edging into Bundaberg now, then through Maryborough, Hervey Bay, approaching Gympie, and certainly affecting the Sunshine Coast areas, also approaching Brisbane. Right, there's also this heavy rain area that was severe warned last night out around Longreach, where I think they've had up to 100 mil out there, and it is still producing quite a heavy rainfall to the east of Longreach. The red shaded area is the current BOM severe weather warning, all the way from, by the look of that, near Hamilton Island, Bowen, down to Coolangatta, for coastal areas, say east of the ranges and adjacent inland parts of the coast. I must stress that this is pretty much predominantly a coastal event. Alright. We'll move on to the precipitation forecast, the Wattle precipitation forecast for the next 4 days. You can see the upper level low or trough still producing some areas of rainfall over central Queensland, with some further moderate falls down the Queensland coast from about Townsville south, although I do expect these to ease today, and then further falls from Mackay south towards Rockhampton. Now you'll see from Fraser Island south is where things really start to hot up as far as precipitation occurs in the forecast. We're looking at, from Fraser Island, Bundaberg south, areas of up to 200 mil are possible, with a target area around the Gold Coast of up to 300. Alright, this is because the low increases in intensity and pushes these onshore winds on a lot stronger, and it does slow down and sits here and spins for quite a while, a few days offshore from the Gold Coast. The track remains uncertain after that. It could go down into northeast New South Wales, or it could hold here and continue to spin for a number of days. Let's move on to the 850 wind streamlines on BSCH. These are wind streamlines at 3,000 feet, and this is at 4 AM this morning. You can see that there's no sign of any such low or trough. However, you do have deep onshore winds bringing in showers and rain areas. As we progress through the timeline at 4 PM this afternoon, Monday, you'll see the circulation start to occur up here around about the Rockhampton region, increasing wind speeds on the southern side of this low towards Bundaberg and Gympie. As we progress through at 10 PM tonight, you can see that the low intensifies quickly, okay, to have very strong winds on the southern, western, southwest sides, pulling all this moisture in offshore and cranking it onto the coast from, say, about Bundaberg, Gladstone, Bundaberg south through Gympie and Brisbane down towards the Gold Coast at 10 PM tonight. This pattern remains overnight Monday into Tuesday morning at 4 AM. You can see the low is still positioned up there, moving southeast. By 10 AM on Tuesday, these very strong low-level winds continue to feed in very heavy rainfall areas over areas south of Gympie into Tuesday, definitely down in through the southeast coast and possibly northeast New South Wales also on Tuesday morning. Okay, we'll progress forward a bit further. That is 4 PM on Tuesday afternoon. You can see the low again has increased in intensity with low-level circulation winds. Offshore there we've got 50 knots at 3,000 feet, which is about 100 k's an hour. These strong winds do get dragged down to the surface with rain areas, showers and thunderstorms, So we may expect to see wind gusts along coastal regions of up to 100 km. Offshore islands may reach wind gusts of up to 120 km. And there is a gale force wind warning in place from the BOM for this. Okay, we keep progressing out through the timeline. You can see that the low becomes quite stationary off the southeast coast and just continues to spin out there over the days ahead into Wednesday afternoon. We're yet to see what happens after that. Waterspouts become possible tornadoes is, like I said, possible. There is potential there for this. Same as what with XTC Oswald, we are seeing similar values in helicity values, which is a key indicator for potentially development of waterspouts come tornadoes. Now, most of these could be waterspouts, but once they hit land, they are obviously called a tornado. Okay, we've already seen a number of these around Brisbane and northeast New South Wales during the week, waterspouts, but they remained offshore. That's 4 p.m. Monday. You can see that there are some values starting to creep in around Rockhampton to Bundaberg by 4 p.m. this afternoon. As we increase into 7 p.m, these values increase even further up to 300, and then 10 p.m. tonight they increase to almost maximum value between the areas of Bundaberg to Gympie. These are helicity values, turning winds in the lower atmosphere to induce possible waterspouts or land tornadoes. As we progress through this timeline even further, you can see that at 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, the values are still there and current for the same areas. Young fella's just come into the room having a look for his sisters. Okay, so 4 a.m. Tuesday and 7 a.m. Tuesday, the values do slide towards the southeast, towards Brisbane, these helicity values. Okay, and they are quite high, minus 355. At 10 a.m. Tuesday, the values are still there around Gympie, extending down towards Coolangatta. By 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon, hopefully they disappear and we no longer have a waterspout / tornado potential threat. But as it stands at the moment, I do believe we do have some potential there for these to form anywhere in the areas between Rocky and Coolangatta between now and Tuesday afternoon. We do have some high values there, which is a bit of a concern. The other, quickly just moving on, other concern is if I drop a plot in some of these values, I'll show you something on a plot. We also have concerns for stationary thunderstorms producing high amounts of rainfall over a small area in a short period of time. Sunshine Coast flooding a few years ago or 12 months ago is one that rings a bell with these sort of forecasts. You can see down here the low level winds come in from the south, southeast, wrap around to the east and then back around to the north. Moisture is high, the lines are together, indicating very high moisture levels. As the clouds come in, they wrap into the bottom of the storm and they wrap around and rotate. The upper level winds, they fall back down on themselves, creating an almost stationary thunderstorm where the rain feeds up and drops back down on itself. If this does become stationary for 1 to 2 hours, it can produce very, very high amounts of rainfall over a short space of time, inducing severe flash flooding. These values are recognised anywhere from Rockhampton south to about Brisbane between now and Tuesday lunchtime. Okay, they do match up with the helicity values for waterspouts. You can drop a plot anywhere along here and you can see these turning winds where they come into the low levels, wrap back around, fall back down on themselves. See, the strengths are high. So you also have that increased risk of waterspouts and tornadoes because of these churning in the winds through the atmosphere, forcing rotation. Okay. Alright, that's about all I've got. I need to keep it a bit short. I've gone to 9 minutes, so current radar, heads up, look out, it's on its way. There are multiple warnings in place. We'll continue to crank as many warnings as possible and try and identify any areas that may become a flash flood issue. I will pounce on them like a cat. If any of these yellow areas become stationary, I will issue my own heads up for flash flood warnings based on computer model outputs of what these things can do, these cells can do. Currently they're continuing to feed in over Sunshine Coast, so they're not causing any problems at the moment, but definitely some heavy rain. If they stop, warnings will be quickly issued. Alright, thanks guys. Stay safe. If it's flooded, forget it. Go to Queensland Alert and have a look. I'm sure that site will crank up over the next few days, but we'll put as much out as we can. Thanks.